Life is a great school, and every experience we live offers us a valuable lesson. Some choose to learn only from their own mistakes, repeating cycles of pain until they finally understand the right path. Others, however, develop the wisdom to observe what happens around them and absorb the lessons from the experiences of others. This attitude is not a sign of weakness, but of intelligence. When we understand that we don't need to fall into every hole to recognize where they are, we begin to walk more prudently and consciously. Learning from the mistakes of others is a way to save time, energy, and suffering, without losing maturity and experience. After all, wisdom lies in avoiding the same stumbles and using life's examples as a guide. It doesn't matter if the mistakes are ours or someone else's. What truly matters is to learn and keep moving forward, stronger each time. Many times, we believe that the company of anyone is better than being alone. However, life shows us that walking beside those who don't share our values can lead us to paths of pain and regret. Solitude, on the other hand, can be a space of self-discovery and inner strength. It is in solitude that we learn to listen to our own thoughts, reflect on our actions, and build true maturity. Being alone does not mean being weak, but rather having the courage to wait for the right people and genuine connections. Maturity teaches us that quality always outweighs quantity, whether in friendships, relationships, or life choices. It is better to walk slowly and alone in the right direction than fast and poorly accompanied toward the abyss. When well understood, solitude becomes a gift, capable of shaping our mind and preparing us for a better future. They say two things define a human being: their patience when they have nothing, and their attitude when they have everything. This reflection reminds us that life constantly tests our essence in opposite situations. In moments of scarcity, we are invited to cultivate patience, trust the process, and maintain hope even when everything seems difficult. In times of abundance, however, it is our attitude that shows who we truly are, because the way we use what we have reveals our character. Patience shapes our resilience, while attitude reveals our true identity. Moreover, character cannot be bought nor built overnight. It is developed over time, through the choices we make daily. People who maintain patience in adversity and humility in triumph demonstrate a rare balance, and they are truly admired. The greatest value is not in what we possess, but in who we are. In a noisy and fast-paced world, silence becomes one of wisdom's greatest allies. Not responding when we are angry, not arguing when there is no benefit, and not fueling unnecessary conflicts are signs of emotional maturity. Silence is not the absence of voice, but the choice to preserve peace. Alongside it, kindness reveals itself as a transformative force. To be kind, even when we do not receive kindness, is proof of inner greatness. Small gestures of kindness soothe hearts and create positive waves that return to us in unexpected ways. Resilience also walks hand in hand. It is the ability to face storms without letting them destroy our inner self. Not all challenges come to knock us down. Many come to open new paths. Silence, kindness, and resilience together are powerful tools to live wisely and keep the soul at peace. Our mind is one of the most incredible forces we possess. It can be our greatest ally or our worst enemy, depending on how we use it. When well trained, it is capable of creating solutions, seeing opportunities, and turning dreams into reality. But when we allow negative thoughts to dominate, the mind becomes a cruel master, imprisoning us in fears, anxieties, and illusions. That is why it is essential to learn to take care of our thoughts and direct them toward the positive. What we think shapes our character, influences our actions, and inevitably builds our reality. The mind is like a garden. If we cultivate good ideas, we harvest healthy fruits. If we let weeds grow, the result will be destructive. Training the mind to always seek the bright side of things is a daily exercise that requires discipline, but it guarantees a more balanced, creative, and fulfilling life. Failure is inevitable, but seeing failure as an enemy is a mistake. Each challenge carries with it the opportunity for growth. It is in moments of difficulty that we discover who we truly are, test our strength, and find new ways to overcome ourselves. Mistakes teach us lessons that no book is capable of transmitting. They reveal our limitations, but also point out where we can improve. When we learn to see failure as part of the process, we stop fearing it and begin to use it as fuel to grow. Great leaders and thinkers have affirmed that success is built upon trials and errors. True defeat is not in failing, but in giving up trying. Facing challenges head-on and accepting stumbles as steps is the key to a life of progress. Each failure is just one more step on the ladder of personal evolution. The way we react to what others do reveals much more about us than about them. Respecting those who respect us is easy, but respecting even those who treat us badly is a sign of true emotional mastery. Respect should not depend on the actions of others, but on the standard we set for ourselves. In the same way, forgiveness is not something we offer because the other deserves it, but because we deserve peace. Holding on to resentment is carrying a weight that only harms us. Self-control is also essential, not responding with anger, not making decisions in the heat of the moment, and not allowing external attitudes to steal our serenity. When we understand that we represent ourselves and not the behavior of others, we become freer. Respect, forgiveness, and self-control are virtues that elevate our soul and make us grow. Life is made of choices, and every decision carries inevitable consequences. Running away from responsibilities or ignoring the truth will never be a lasting solution. Sooner or later, time reveals everything. The truth, even when ignored, defends itself, because it always comes to light. That is why it is fundamental to act with integrity and make conscious decisions, understanding that every step we take shapes our future. Time is the impartial judge that tests our character and rewards our actions. It also reminds us of the importance of not procrastinating, because every wasted moment is an opportunity that will not return. When we understand that life is limited, we begin to value our choices more and invest energy in what truly matters. Living consciously is respecting time, accepting truth, and being responsible for our own decisions. Being strong does not mean never falling, but rather rising every time it is necessary. Inner strength is what sustains us when the world seems to collapse. It is born from faith in ourselves, trust in life's process, and the ability to turn pain into learning. Overcoming is a daily exercise where we face our weaknesses and gradually build a better version of ourselves. True happiness is not in the absence of problems, but in the ability to maintain peace in the midst of storms. When we find within ourselves the source of serenity, we realize that nothing external can steal our balance. Inner strength is the foundation of genuine happiness, which does not depend on passing circumstances, but on how we choose to live and interpret each experience. Life is not a race to see who arrives first, but a unique journey in which each one has their own path to follow. It is useless to try to copy the journey of others, because each person carries their own challenges and lessons. What really matters is not speed, but direction. Walking with purpose, valuing every step, allows us to live with deeper meaning. In the end, what we leave to the world is not our possessions, but the attitudes that marked other people. Kindness, wisdom, respect, and the lessons we share are the true legacy that remains after our departure. Every action is like a seed planted, which can bloom in someone's heart. That is why living with awareness and solid values is the most beautiful way to transform life into an eternal testimony of wisdom and love.